Hi everyone, and I'm Tom. Today we to share about Requirejs Write it What. We to try write the Requirejs again because we to learning about the basics to use the Requirejs and we to make the fourth step. So let's have a look. And the step is for 1 using or loading Requirejs, or 2 we can choose use the did dash main. Sometimes we can don't use the did dash main, but it's a good way. So 3 step is require we to use the require method. Use the Requirejs to loading what JS we use to loading it. And the 4 we use the define to use the AMD style and to can because the Requirejs only need to know Requirejs need to loading about the AMD style JS file. So this is 4th step. If you don't use the step 2 did dash main, we only use 3 steps. So about the require method and define method and did dash main are attribute of HTML file. So let's have a try to write it what. We can to make a new file in this lesson. We to try to write again. So here new new file means once again. So we to share about here again or okay right again .html. So we try to use the HTML file. So let's have a look. Okay. I try use require just no. So let's have a look. Require. So again. Yes, it's okay. So also we can choose the here 4 step like this here. Yeah, okay. And the first step is loading the Requirejs. So if we use it, we can try write it down here script and as we download it in the script and Requirejs, so we don't to download it again. It's jump this steps and Requirejs. So if we don't use the require the data dash main, you can don't use it. So if here we don't use it, did dash main, and for the file name is also is script. And main this file, and the .js you can don't write it, because the Requirejs know it's you to manage your JS file, so you don't write it. It's okay, but you write it also okay. So let's have a try, because we have this file, and you delete this one. We didn't learn it. No. So I'm Tom. Yeah, it's okay, because I'm come from the what Tom, and Tom and until file. Until file. So in the last lesson we learning it, and it's okay. But when here, you can do first thing you know, if you use the data to main, it's so easy for to manage your all.js hot loading, because you don't need to write again. For example, the main in this file, the jQuery, don't this one, this one. Which here is manager of the JS file, which one we need it. So we can too easy to when the other HTML file we don't to write down again. For example, you don't write it, you need to write down here. For example, script and script, and use the require method. And to loading in, maybe like the script main.js. Sorry, don't use it. Okay, like this one, right? So let's have a try. Help, yeah. But here problem is have another look main and help until, because the script, the basic URL, it don't to know how to loading it, so it's sometimes maybe don't to find it. For example, maybe in here script change it right, so it have a lot of problem. Help, and the until, and the main Tom. help until script yes, if2 loading is for main it's user until it's from help until help until scripts helper until yes, it's okay. So maybe you need to write a lot, and maybe here not use it. No. So the basic URL you need to write it a lot. It's again to speak a lot of about we don't use the this basic smell basic want the data basic dir basic src. So this man is good for script and main pages, and then if you write like here the script file flowed, and when the until you don't need to speak write script like here. So let's have a look. Script and main.js. Look, it's how two scripts. No, it's wrong because we use the data to main. It writes the basic URL. So and another define the file. We don't need to write it again. So let's have a look. Okay. So this is a good thing about the use date to main. You need to know. So and we can continue to write if the date the name we can change it. For example, again a new main. It's okay, and we can to make a new main.js here. New main.js. It's also okay, and the new main.js we to use a require and to loading, for example, the help script have no health until so it's okay. It's also okay. If it be plus 1, for example, Tom. So how look? Tom, yeah, it's loaded, but you don't need use it. Also, we don't have the tom.js. So the second thing is we use the another name to connect it. So if we use the again .js is also okay, but for example, we this file also in the helper flow, we can to make one new one. It's for me again .js. So it's okay now. Let's have a look. It's okay, and again JS is loaded, and if in here we to make a function, for example, again function, and we to let success how to say how to write, maybe this one. I file it suck. Okay, here it's different, yeah, different is success to success. Okay, and show it, running it. So let's have a look. Success, yeah, it's okay. But here if you to retain a value, you know in the file we don't use the define to the AMD style. We can running some days, but don't count to get retain the value. For example, retain again, no, retain good job. So about the until again new, and here we can to try to a callback. Remember, it is so important, and if you want to get the file, the value, you need to give here a name again. Yes, and retain the again, show again a letter. Okay, a letter. I feel this word I read it wrong. Again, undefined. Again, if you want to get it, you need to define. This is the last one, the mouse for before we study the lesson. D, find, and two value, but we can to write out the function and like here. We remove it to here. Good job. So let's have a look. Success. Okay. Good job. Okay, so everything is okay, and about the we learning about the 4 basic only this is the basic step about 4. Sometimes if you use a very short step, you can delete the step 2 and only 3 steps, and we to try write all steps in this lesson, and to use the basic for the requirements. But in the next lesson we will to learning another about the Requirejs config. The configure you can do easy to manage another thing. So, but the first thing you need can write like this file and for this lesson, and you can to know the basic step to write to running the and use the Requirejs. And thank you. See you next lesson.